I think that I was thinking more so like what Buddy Hield. Buddy
Really?
Hield and
That's
Jaylen Brown
crazy.
both got like 70, $80 million. Now I don't know if he'll get 80, but I would not be surprised if he gets 60.
I don't. But see, here's the thing. I think Buddy and Jalen had at that point. It was like OG was injured the majority of last year. I think he's not at that. He's not at those type of levels right now.
You don't think anybody will offer him 15 million a year?
I think 15. I mean, what did
So
Fred
like 45,
get? Fred got what, 12? Sorry, not Fred.
Fred got
Norm
224. Norm got 4 for 40, but that was like 4 years, almost 4 years ago.
I would say
now.
that you could probably give him 15 million, and I'd be okay with that. But like, I mean, if people, depending on what people offer, I mean, Fred. I think Fred's a loyal guy. I think Fred's a guy that the Raptors took a chance on him when he was
I think so
undrafted.
too, but I don't know if the Raptors, like, if he gets a max, let's say it's not a max.
Kyle's gone, so
That's what I was
going
gonna
to
get.
at point
Yeah,
guard.
yeah.
So Kyle's gone after next year. I think next year is his last year. He might. Who knows if they'll even they might trade him with that expiring contract. It is what it is, and we have to cut the grips. And I think a lot of people, need to realize this. I mean, we called for it a couple of years ago, and then they did the whole Kawhi thing. They again, a lot of those guys are old. Like, they're not going to be around for much longer.
Who?
You're looking at Kyle.
Yep.
You're looking at
Serge and Mark, both free agents.
Serge and Mark are likely not going to be. So a lot of those key pieces are going to be gone.
You got to think probably Serge comes back on a 1 or 2 year deal. I would think.
Well, like I said,
he wants to be back as
depending
well.
on what the money is and so forth. And again, I'd take him on a reasonable deal. But again, the team's going to get older. You're going to have to retool the team, and
you'll save 33 million on Mark as well.
If you want to ask me right now, like, if I had to, even with the age thing, I think there's signs that Fred's surpassing Kyle.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it sounds crazy. This year, I think the finals, when people started seeing it, even non-Raptors fans, I've been calling for it for a while, and I told you guys before, I thought that Fred was the next Kyle. The way they play the game, the size, the shot, the taking charges sometimes, the tough defense. A little bit smaller.
I think Kyle's better at taking charges. But I think Fred's a better shooter.
He
has that step back three that it looks like it knocks guys down, and guys should really have a book on that.
A lot of guys have done it,
and they still can't do it. So I mean, I think he's a likable guy. I got no problem. And the thing with his kids was awesome. And I have no problem paying him. But again, here's the thing: we have to be realistic. Is Giannis like going to come here? Like there's that hopes and whatever, but. Who the heck knows? I think they would still have enough money. Still have enough money to bring him in and have an opportunity at it. But I'm sure Masai's got a pretty good read. Masai's not an idiot. He has a pretty good read on the situation. So he's not going to put the future on the team on the hopes of signing Giannis. Yeah. Because here's the thing: if you go covered bare, why is Giannis going to sign here knowing he's going to have the same problems that he had in Milwaukee and even have a worse team? That doesn't make any sense. He'd want Fred around. He'd want solid pieces so that he has backup. And I mean, that's the way it should be. I mean, he's not going to go to the Knicks. He's not going to do any of this garbage.
He's going to win.
I can see him doing kind of some crazy Golden State thing. Who the heck knows? But,
Lakers, who knows? But anyways, last question about this before we wrap it up. If you had to give the max, and let's say it's last year, would you rather give it to Pascal or to Fred?
If I had to give the
one of the two, or even let's say whatever. Let's just say a max to use the term easily. Because someone should. Pascal had suitors for the max. He stayed here. Fred will get it.
I think Fred's.
I don't think this was a question last year, by the way.
I think Fred's starting to reach his caps.
Yeah.
I still think that Pascal's got another tier in it.
You think so?
I think so. I think Pascal with his continued progression. It's a tough question. Like I said, I'll give Pascal credit. Well, he's a starter in the All-Star game. He's come a heck of a long way. And just his tools, his size, his physicality. I would probably give it to Pascal, and Fred would be just a slight bit lower. But even that being even a conversation is crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Considering the fact that we had the situation on who we were going to pay, Fred or DeLon Wright a couple years ago.
That's what I was going to say. He was a third point guard on the team.
And now look at the situation where DeLon's a decent player, but he's not on Fred's level these days. That's for sure. So give the guy credit. He had his struggles, but when he's hitting the shots, and you just like watching the guy play basketball because that shot smooth. Yeah. Again.
He brings it every game.
He's the Toronto Drake.
He is. He's a Toronto man.
He's the Toronto man.
Okay, so let's wrap up that. You had to make your prediction on the series.
I was going to have Raptors in 7. Yeah. Okay. I think it'll go the entire way. Which again, I think that's going to be it's awesome. I'm a little scared of the series. I'm not going to deny it. I think this is one of those situations where I think it could end up rough, but it really depends on how they come out.
I think if the Raptors win this series, the Eastern Conference Final is an easier series, regardless whether it's. And to be I sounded crazy as I said last time. I think Boston and Miami are the toughest matchup they have in the East, just based on pieces, matchups. The Bucks, I think that the Raptors win. I don't want to say it's a lock, but I'm more confident. I'm more confident of them this year than I was last year before Game 1 had started.
I mean, it all depends. Like again,
the
biggest factor is like what happens, how they deal with Giannis and defensive player of the year and all that stuff. Like
shout out to Nick Nurse, by the way, for officially winning Coach of the Year. And I was going to say, I think that the Raptors definitely have the coaching advantage. They had it last year. They have it this year. And I think that his creativity defending Giannis and throwing different bodies at him. I think OG would be a capable guy this year. I don't know if Pascal would be as good, but that's another guy you could throw at him with some size.
It would have to be OG, and that's the situation, right? You know, the Bucks. The Bucks lost a couple of guys. They brought a couple of guys in. Are they better than they were last year? I mean, you can debate that. You can debate that point. The Raptors lost Kawhi and Danny Green. Then you have OG stepping up, and then Fred's having a crazy resurgence. So, I think again, in these type of situations, you need a guy that's gonna like. That's the one thing I'm a little bit fearful of, because in these type of situations, who's gonna be the guy? Last year we knew who the guy was.
I think Fred showed how clutch he is.
And that's the situation. Last year you had when the team's playing horribly, you jump on Kawhi's back and Kawhi gets you through.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to see how these guys again. The Nets thing, like you said, they're playing guys that were 9th, 10th men on a lot of teams. Harris left the bubble, like it was all over the map. This is really to see how tough and these guys are, or can they get to that next level when they do face the elite teams? Because again, as we know, the Nets.
That's the toughest thing. And then, shout out to Karis LeVert for predicting a series win as well. He had a good series, but.